Hey guys, Clumsy here, and welcome back to ETS2. Thank you for the comments in the last episode. Seems like a lot of people liked the new engine sounds. I didn't get any violent reactions at least. And since then, I've tweaked a couple of settings. You can see the Garmin GPS is no longer there, and that's because I turned on the Google Maps night navigation. So we have our GPS back in the normal spot, and it's the Google Maps navigation night mode. So we'll test if that works for us or not. Alright. Also changed up some of the things here. Changed this to the CG, the Clumsy mug, which is part of foggy weather. It's something that Kirill made for me as well, so thanks a lot for that. It looks pretty fancy, pretty nice. Also, I've been tweaking the graphics a bit. Oh, I love the engine sound. Yeah, Vasilis DAF Hero 6 engine sound on an MAN truck. Why not? Anyway, yes, I was tweaking the graphics, and I've gotten a couple of tips before, and specifically Kirill mentioned that I shouldn't be using the anti-aliasing because it's not efficient, it's for AMD, and it's a very old technology. So it hurts the performance more than it makes the picture beautiful, so to speak. So what I did is now I turned it off and I just switched to 400% scaling to remove or minimize the jagged edges. Right, so you can see we'll probably see an overall increase in the graphics, but in the performance, hopefully a bit as well, a bit more stability maybe, at the very least. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to it. We don't have a very long job today, but we're going to try and make it as fun as possible. Also, one more thing. So I still have early autumn mod enabled, and there's been a strange happening over at YouTube recently. The video I uploaded, the previous episode, actually had a problem with becoming HD. A lot of people reported that you can only see 360p, and that's very strange because I double checked the actual video file, and it was a 1080 60 frame rate video at least. So when I uploaded it, an HD version should have been uploaded to YouTube. I think it's just that the processing takes a while. I did contact the YouTube team as well over at Twitter, and they replied that it might take longer for the processing to work, for the HD option to be available. Maybe they're doing some back-end upgrades or something, but yeah, it's not working perfectly right now. Oh, the Stormtrooper head is bobbing. I like that. Look at this. Stormtrooper bobblehead, all ready for the Star Wars hype now. Right, so this is our trailer. As recommended, I did enable Seisel's trailer mod, but I did not enable Jazzy Cats for a change, yeah? Just to mix it up a little. Maybe in the next episode I'll turn it on, but I want to see Seisel's trailers. They're very nice. Ooh, I think I like this. A double trailer that is not exactly alike, not exactly in line with our colors, but more or less the same, red and blue. Let's go with that, even if it's Carrefour, the fake Carrefour. We're going to take that to Osnabruck. It's going to be pretty light, so it shouldn't be a problem in terms of weight, but in terms of length and stability, that might be a different thing. Alright, let's see. But yeah, anyway, so, and yes, of course, I forget what I'm talking about. Anyway, take a look at the Google Maps navigation night mode, and if you want to try it out, it is in the Steam Workshop. In the mods list in the video description, there's also a link to that specific mod. Can I make it like this? Maybe. And then steer it off like that. Perfect. Although the trailers kind of complained, if you saw there. Oh, that actually looks pretty nice. That actually looks pretty nice. And maybe we can raise that axle at the back. I don't think we'll need it, because it is just a 9-ton trailer. Although we'll be losing a bit of the steering power, but I think it's fine. I think we'll manage. Now I can't remember. I think I turned off advanced double parking, so we shouldn't be up for a too terrible parking slot later on. We'll see. Yep. It is articulated. It's articulated, but doesn't have a dolly. Yeah, it's kind of a different setup. Interesting. But this should be like part of the default SCS trailers, I think. So I'm not sure why the setup is like that. Anyway, let me try and eat up the entire space here and steer it like so. That should be enough room, I think. Yes. Yep, that's good. It's not too finicky, the back trailer. It seems like it's like limited in terms of it doesn't have its own life, so to speak. Like it's not like a full-blown second trailer when it comes to something like having a dolly. Yeah, I think it's more stable than I expected, and that's good. I am liking the Google Maps GPS though. The colors are very, very legible. Like the blue shade to tell you where you need to go, and the white arrows that tell you exactly if you need to turn left or right. That's very useful. I like that. And the engine sound, I am beginning to like even more. This is still Vasily's engine sound, and we'll have to take a photo soon. That sunrise should not be just passed up. That is a perfect opportunity. Look at that view. Beautiful. Now I guess no driver will tell you to look at that and not look at the road at the same time, so let's try to look at the road. Let me see. Yeah, I really love that GPS thing is really making it for me, working really well. And you can see the speed limit is on the top right. It's much easier to see. I like it. It's perfect. Okay. Oh crap, that was a bit bad. I was underestimating the steering. I think I got used to the steering with the axle at the back, and because I raised it, the steering is much less responsive than what I'm used to. Maybe let's lower it again. But no, it kind of fits this way. Let me see if I can raise the axle on the trailer. I doubt it, but let me see. No, there's nothing. Okay, let's keep it raised. It's just a matter of me getting used to it. Let's open the lights here. B.O.B. Every time I drive here in the Netherlands, I really enjoy driving through the highways, and specifically the interchanges, the intersections, because they're always exciting for me. They're always confusing, but exciting at the same time. Oh, I thought we were going through a toll gate. Apparently, it was just a rest stop. So, guys, has anyone played with ETS 1.29 beta yet? Because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, a lot of different new things about it, and I wanted to ask what you guys thought. Okay, let's take a photo somewhere here, maybe after we curve. Here. Like there, let's try that. I think that would be nice. I've been hearing a lot of sneaky updates, so it's not just about the things that SCS mentioned. It's also some more things in addition, and I think it was pretty nice. Nothing too fancy, but I think a lot of fixes went under the hood. Oh, that's pretty nice. Double trailers. Let's take a photo like so, maybe. but maybe I need to do it like this so it doesn't get deformed. Yeah, that works for me. And let me have one back shot here, because I really want to take a photo of that sky. That one looks beautiful. I wish the HD version in YouTube would be fixed already, because it would be a shame to watch this in normal definition. That looks pretty nice to me. What do you guys think? That looks pretty nice. Let me see. Like that, maybe? Good. I'll decide later which one I like for the thumbnail. But yeah, I think it's a nice change. Switching it up with the trailers, having a heavy cargo, having doubles, having oversized loads and all that stuff. But yes, I'm really interested to check out the ETS 1.29 as well. I'll probably try it out in the upcoming stream this Friday. So if you guys are available, go and join me. I'm sure it will be pretty interesting for all of us. And yeah, I really want to try the new roads, the environmental change. So the only bad thing about it is that foggy weather is not supported yet. Kirill will have to change a couple of things to make it compatible. So we'll have to play without foggy weather in the meantime. But the good thing about that is we'll get to test what really changed, because SES mentioned that they did change some of the environmental lighting. And based on what I saw in the thread, in the open beta thread, oh, someone's overtaking. Yeah, motorcycle. Living it rough. What they mentioned was that SES removed the reddish tint, that they changed it to become whitish. Like what Kirill is doing with foggy weather. That basic aspect of removing the red tint, at least that part. So I want to see if SES has learned from Kirill, something like that, and if they applied it to the default game. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to testing. So on Friday we'll test that, right? We'll see how that goes. Oh, lots of different trees in here. Love it. And yes, I'm still looking for I'm still window shopping for what to upgrade. But yes, I think more or less, I'm sure I'll be getting a Ryzen 5 1600 CPU. That will help a lot with my streaming and recording needs. And then I'll probably most likely get a 1070, a GTX 1070. So that will get even better frame rates. Maybe I'll get fixed 60 by then. And I'll be able to play more powerful games, max them out in the settings and everything. It's going to cost a lot though, so we'll see. We'll see if I can manage. If my wife wants something for Christmas, then I can want something in return. Then maybe I'll be able to get that upgrade. Yeah, but if things work out well, then I'll probably get the upgrade by end of the year. We'll see how it goes. What I'm not sure of though is if there's something that's over the horizon. You know, this is what I hate when I'm upgrading. Like, okay, fine, I'm upgrading, I'm looking at the parts, but I never know if there's something that's going to come out in a matter of months. Maybe I upgrade and then a few weeks later, a few days after, a new graphics card is released or a new processor is released or something like that. And it makes, I know you guys have had the same dilemma before, because I'm sure everyone had it before, and I hate that feeling. You know, for example, if you're an iPhone fan, you get an iPhone and then a few weeks after you get a new iPhone is released. Probably nowadays that's not going to be a thing anymore, because iPhones are pretty much released on a regular basis every year. But I remember I had this before I was an Apple fanboy, not anymore. And I bought my first MacBook, and I didn't know anything about the Mac, but I was so into the iPhone that I was convinced to buy a MacBook. So I bought a MacBook, and then literally a few days after, the MacBook Pro got released. This aluminum finish, the first time it released, it was a MacBook. In the second iteration, it became MacBook Pro. So I got the MacBook before it became Pro. And when it became Pro, there were so many additional features and much more powerful specs, and I was really irritated at it. So after that, I decided I should research better to get more my money's worth. So that's what I haven't researched yet. If there's something that's coming out soon. Although the thing is, the counter argument about that is, yes, there might be something that releases in the US, but I live in Singapore. And in Singapore, it's not as updated as I would want. I mean, we do get the latest hardware, the latest updates, the latest things, but not at the same time. Maybe a few months later, and even after a few months, the prices are still terrible. Like when I'm researching right now, and I'm seeing, okay, this spec is good, this spec is good. Ooh, nice truck. Pretty nice truck. I'm pretty sure that came from Jazzycat's truck pack, probably. Anyway, yeah, so as I'm researching and I'm getting all these information, I don't know, it's just it's I see this, okay, I see this part, and I see that this is, they say it's cheap now, so it's much better, it's worth your money now, this particular part. And that might be true in the US, but if I look at Singapore prices, that trend doesn't apply all the time, and it seldom does. Like they say, okay, this motherboard was pricey before and it wasn't worth it, but now it's pretty much on sale because there's a newer one which came out, so this one is pretty much bang for your buck. Well, if I can compare the prices, like the prices in Singapore didn't really change that much compared to the original release for that part, so that doesn't apply. So that means it's still not practical to buy that, so I have to find something else, you know. If there was something like a similar buyer's guide but for Singapore, then that would be perfect, but life is not that simple for me. That's been the problem ever since, especially when I was in the Philippines. Singapore, we're not really the first to get the updates. Singapore a lot more, but still, both of them not very much into the updated stuff, at least in terms of price. In terms of having them available, they are, but in terms of reflecting the same trends, no, not at all. So in this, of course, everything is much more expensive here because they have to be imported from the US and things like that. So yeah, when I look at the prices at the US, at Amazon, things like that, and I always say, oh man, this is something I wish is available locally, because get all the taxes, all the import tax, the, I don't know what else you call it, all those different kinds of taxes. Nice. Well, that was a pretty smooth ride, wasn't it? I like that. It's pretty short, actually. We're in Osnabrück already? Oh yeah, wow, this is going to be the shortest episode ever. Sorry about that, guys, but well, we can try for an advanced parking. That's something I could maybe suggest. So we can probably try that. Let's see. Let me try that setting. Okay, I turned off simple parking, so maybe the rest of the episode will just spend parking this thing. After all, it doesn't seem like it's too much of a nuisance, at least not yet. So maybe it's not as wild. Oh and yes, that's one more thing. I forgot to tell you. So you might have noticed that it was a bit laggy, and I was thinking, what is it? Autumn mode? Is it foggy weather? Is it the combination of the two? Is it my graphic settings? And I think more or less it's the real traffic density by SIP. Because as much as it's very nice that it adds so many cars and adds much more realism, more cars means more things to render, more things to compute. So it's slower overall, and my system just cannot handle it. And I did tell you that I did remove it, but for some reason when I looked at it today, it's still there. So maybe I didn't remove it for this profile. Maybe I removed it for a different profile, and that's pretty crappy. So yeah, you probably noticed a bit of difference. So at least we get something smoother now, I hope. Bauhaus. Little bit of engine braking. There we go. Steer here. Let's have a look at that trailer. It doesn't want to bend at all. Look at that. Barely does. It's not that hard to turn though. I mean, it's pretty much just following the trailer in front of it. So that's good. And for some reason, I'm liking much more the engine sound now. I guess it takes some getting used to. But yeah, last time, I didn't like it so much near the end of the episode. I don't know. But now I think I'm appreciating it a lot more. Okay. So nothing fancy about this parking. I think, yeah, it's pretty much a straight parking here. Just have to make sure that I don't get in trouble with that trailer at the back. Yeah, I'm good. The tip you guys gave me before was after the first trailer gets cleared, chances are the second trailer will get cleared as well, because it basically just follows the same trajectory. the same angle, more or less. Does that work? Yes, it does. Super easy. Easiest parking ever. Okay, now it disappeared. Okay, there it is. What? How the heck did I get damaged there? Super short road, super short trip, but what the heck was that all about? Alright, fine. I guess I'll take eco driving. Or let's max this out. Fragile and high value. Yeah, get most income. The eco driving hype has ended. Alright, let's go see. Maybe we can go and look around a bit. Bad Oeynhausen, Osnabruck. Let's see. The next job should be taking us to Denmark, and I haven't activated yet the new version of the Scandinavia mod by Chris94. So we'll probably have to do that first, because he did change a couple of things in Copenhagen, I think, and in some areas he has an actual map which shows the changed areas. So we're going to test that out. But for now, I guess we'll just go here then. Yeah, let's just go and park up and end the episode. I know it's going to be pretty short, but just for a change. I don't think we're going to even last 30 minutes here. Wow. Whoop. So almost hit the fence. Or I think I kind of did. But this trailer didn't really leave me much choice, did it? Because I'm backed up against the wall here. There we go. Also, I think I could get even more frame rate. Make it a fixed 60. I was able to get a fixed 60 when I was driving a different truck, when I was driving a car, the Opel Astra that I use in Trucker for Hire series. But when I go with this truck, I think this truck is pretty detailed, pretty high polygon and high textures and all that stuff. Because I think from 60 frames, I go down to around 50 or 40 when I'm using this truck. And I tried removing all the cabin accessories as well, the BB-8, the mug, the Neko Cat, the Death Star hanging in there, and it didn't really change the frame rate that much. So I think it has something to do with the interior here. Like when I go out, it's much smoother, right? it's like 60 frames. But when I go inside, that's like 40 plus frames. But I guess it's a fair trade-off. I mean, we do get a very nice visual on the truck. Pretty detailed interior, if you ask me. So I think it's a good trade-off. No complaining. Oh, I love that engine sound. Also, I remember Wilco Charlie recommended an engine sound for me, this loud pipe sound. I think it's pretty nice. But as always, with most of the MAN sound mods, it's not compatible with XPS's MAN. Because XPS's MAN has a very different file format when it comes to the sounds. So you can't just like copy and paste a sound mod from a different MAN truck and expect it to work here. You'll have to change the def files and really change the mapping to make it compatible, so it's not as easy as it sounds. So right now the best I could offer is this one, the DAF sounds on an MAN truck. But yeah, I think it sounds pretty nice. It's not that like far-fetched. Yeah, you won't be too it's like you won't say it doesn't fit. That's what I would say. Works pretty well. Like even here you can see 60 frames. You can probably notice it. But here, yeah, we go down a bit. But yeah, after a while you don't really notice it anymore. I'm not really into the habit of counting frames as long as it doesn't feel too bad. It doesn't feel like too stuttery. I'm okay with it. Of course, 60 frames is always a target, but don't always have to meet that exactly. Look at that, 60 frames now. Yeah, without real traffic density, it's much better for us. Maybe after I upgrade, I can bring it back and even maybe max all the settings, but that's wishful thinking. Cross your fingers, guys, that pushes through. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the shortest episode ever. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. In the meantime, this is the Clumsy signing off. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Don't worry, I'll try to record a Trucker for Hire episode for tomorrow. Try. Anyway, thanks for watching, and please give me a like. Hit that thumbs up button if you did enjoy this short video. And yes, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to your comments. Have a nice day. Clumsy Trucking. And bye-bye.